This video is supported in part by Retro Days, a place for nostalgia nerds to gather, share memories, chat, and engage. Go to retrodays.com or check their YouTube channel linked below. Do you find yourself cooped up in the house with no way to satisfy that Gen X classic arcade game itch? I may have a solution for you, and it's probably already connected to your TV.
Don't you know that you're a grown up? No games, no consoles. Not allowed if you're a grown up.
Hey there, welcome back to Gen X Grown Up. I'm John, I am a Gen X Grown Up, and I want to thank you for checking out this video. Hopefully the rest of the channel too. Not long ago, I did a video comparing Galaga from Basic Fun and My Arcade. And in that video, I got a comment saying, John, you should check out the Roku Galaga. And I was like, I've never heard of a version of Galaga on Roku. I didn't know you could play games on Roku. So I figured I'm probably not the only one who didn't know that, so I absolutely had to take a look. I mean, hell, it's Galaga, for heaven's sake. So I headed into the living room where we have our Roku set up and did a search for Galaga, and sure enough, there it is. Now, on the downside, it's $5, so you've got to have a credit card in your Roku account in order to buy this. Not a big deal. And while $5 is not like super expensive for a game like this, you have to kind of weigh it out, right? Because it's $5 for Galaga, but it's Galaga connected to your TV, and you have the controller in your hand all the time. So it's actually a super accessible version of Galaga, should you choose to go this route. I did, because otherwise I couldn't do this video. So I grabbed Galaga for $5, fired it up. The first thing that grabbed me was the presentation was great. Yeah, of course the game is there. We're gonna get to that in a second, but the presentation is really nice. It reminds me a bit, probably beyond even what you might have seen in the Xbox Live Arcade or some console where you're sharing and looking at an old game like Missile Command or Galaga. It's showing you like instructions, the about, strategy, and that sort of thing. So before you even get going, if you're not familiar with Galaga, where any other time you buy Galaga, you're just getting a handheld toy and you got to know how to play. Now, it's not complicated, but you might not understand the concept of, oh, I can get my ship captured and get it back if you've never played before. So that's really kind of nice to have as a bonus in addition to the game. All right, let's get to the game. You actually have some choices. Now, more than just a start button, you can actually pick a few options. You can choose to start anywhere from level 1 to level 12 in Galaga, normal progression, so it puts you with level 12 if you want. But maybe even cooler is an easy mode. I'm gonna get to that a little bit later, but let's look at the game. First thing you might ask yourself is, I don't have a controller hooked up to my TV or my Roku. Oh, yes, you do. It turns out the controller that comes with your Roku is designed to turn sideways and be a game controller. I never noticed that, but when you turn it, you can see the little A and B right there on it. Duh, I should have made that connection before. It was time then to jump into a game of Galaga. My first impressions were this is a really good version of Galaga, quite honestly. Now, it is different. It's not the original ROM, and I think that's probably okay in this case for a Roku game. It really surprised me that it existed in the first place. What I can tell you is that some things are a little slower than you're accustomed to if you're accustomed to Galaga. Some things are a little faster. So if you're just going off kind of muscle memory, you're gonna get caught by some stray bullets or some dives that you weren't expecting. But all in all, the game is true to Galaga. It sounds good, it looks good, I mean, super crisp and sharp coming out of this little Roku box. It used to be a case where Roku probably couldn't handle this, but modern boxes that can stream 4K video and stuff like that, it's not even breathing heavy to run something like Galaga. Now, I mentioned there was an easy mode, so I wanted to check that out. And the easy mode, for someone who has played Galaga before, like you and me probably, easy mode is a joke. The dives are super slow, the bullets are super slow, even the challenging stage, it runs at about, I don't know, 3/4 speed or something, easy to get perfects on those. But if you're someone who hasn't played Galaga, or you want your kids to get exposed to Galaga and not get frustrated, or maybe you have a significant other who has never played Galaga and you like to introduce them to the beautiful game that is Galaga, what a great way to introduce someone to this. And if you're at all worried that someone playing easy mode is going to take your high score away, which, by the way, the high scores are all saved in the game, so that's nice, there are separate leaderboards for regular and easy mode. So you can practice in easy, get a great high score, and then move along to the standard mode and try to get your high score there. The two don't cross-pollinate, nothing is tarnished in terms of good high score record keeping. So there you go, Galaga on your little Roku box. Who knew? I mean, if you're like me, you probably made it about 30 seconds in this video, push stop, and you went and downloaded Galaga on your Roku already. But if you made it this far, or thank you, came back to finish watching, I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. I don't regret spending $5 to add Galaga to literally always at my fingertips on the big screen in front of me. And it's a good enough version that you won't be upset at spending that $5. Don't expect the arcade perfect ROM, and you're going to be very much pleased with your purchase. Speaking of pleased, I hope you really enjoyed what you saw in this video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Gen X Grown Up is dedicated to bringing you new Generation X inspired videos every week. Here are a couple more you can watch right now, but for even more, subscribe and enable those notifications. And if you love what we do, we invite you to support us over on Patreon. And of course, your feedback in the comments and a quick thumbs up are always appreciated.